Hello and welcome to another Daisy Pets video. So today we've been requested by Oakley the Springer to do a dog enrichment toy video of the toys Diego has for when I go out for the day. Oh, you've put one over there as well. I'll get that. So Diego has quite a few things. A lot was sent to us, which is really nice and I really appreciate it. And other things we've bought. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick run through for what we have, as well as what we put in it and when I use it. I've already actually previously filmed this video, however I done it outside and all the audio is ruined by the wind, even though it wasn't that windy. So first up we have the antler, and this is from Daisy's Doggy Deli. She actually sent this to us as a birthday gift, which is super nice of her, and Diego loves it. He hasn't chewed it too much just yet, but he does actually like it. Now the antler is a good replacement for a bone because you can have it inside. It doesn't smell as much. You can use it more. Than a bone. And it is softer, more palatable? It's something. So that sound, I don't know if they can hear it, but it's not what sound. So we use the antler, but we also give Diego cannon bones. There are mixed reviews about whether people like cannon bones or not and if they recommend them. I've had no trouble with Diego on them. He does wear them down, but he's not a chomper, he's a scraper, and he's had no teeth problems from it. He absolutely loves them. And yeah, it's personal preference. If you find the risk worth it, feel free. Otherwise, just do your own research in regards to cannon bones. We'll start with Outward Hound. So I have a few things from Outward Hound. Now we got sent these things from Animates, and we're so thankful for Animates for letting us give them a go. But Animates, being the great company they are, they do like honest feedback. So here is honest feedback. The ball. As I said in my previous video, which I'll have linked at the end of this video and down below, this ball is quite plastic. It's quite like a child's or baby's toy in the way it's constructed. It's a bit rickety and it's not really, like I wouldn't want to put my teeth on that, and that's how Diego plays. He's a biter. However, this ball I do believe might be good for dogs that are more pushers and less chewers. So if I use this with Chico, he would just push it across the floor and the treats would come out. Diego tries to do what he's doing with the Snoop behind us. He does that with this ball. And it's just not good for his teeth, and I don't trust him with it. It is a treat dispensing toy, and it's got a hole on each side, which is actually parallel to each other. So when you're filling it up, you've got to have your hand under it because it'll just fall through. I wouldn't recommend, I don't really use. I'll probably use this 5 times at most, and I got this back in July last year. So it's not my most recommended toy, but if you have a dog that pushes things. Following on from that toy, we have the Triple Treat Totter, also from Outward Hound. So the way this one works is it's on a ball and it sort of like rolls around as they push it. What you do is you put the treats, Diego, you keep smashing it. He is annoying when the toys are out. Good, he's got another one. So you open this up and put their food into here. Now as you can see, because the ball thing's in here, there's not actually much room for the treats to go before they come out the hole. So really, I don't even think Diego eats a 1/3 of a cup or a 1/4 of a cup every meal, and that was too much for this, and it automatically just started spilling out. As I said, smaller dog, possibly better, or if you're only putting a small chunk of their food in, better. But what the plan is when they hit it down, the treats roll out based on where they're hitting it with their nose. I find it's not as smooth as you'd like, and I'd like some of that sort of returns to centre, whereas if they hit it one way, it's just going to stay one way, so it's just going to keep treating out. I did use this with Diego once. side. Diego, are you destroying that behind me? Yeah, that's my thoughts on the triple treat totter. Another outward hound. Diego, what are you up to? Oh. Is the dog slots. So the way this one works, you put the treats in the top in here and they fall down into one of these 3 compartments, and then on the door this is like a leverage to open the slots up for the dogs to hit it out. The concept I like. I actually really like the concept of this one. So here it is filled up with Diego's food. As you can see, it falls instantly into the middle one, so if you want to actually even it out, you have to sort of angle where you want them. Okay. Diego, foot, feet, feet. Good boy. Feet. Now he's just resting with his foot on it. And he's noticed if you bang it with your nose while your foot's on it, they fall out. He's also laying down, which makes it easier. Drop. Oh, I done that one for you, sorry. As you can see, it's not a toy you want to leave them alone with, but he's mastered it after a few goes. Is it empty? No. Oh, there's still a few in there. See what I mean? Tara, that's not how you play it. I think the other problem with this toy, they don't know when it's out. So as you can see, he's going psycho on it because he doesn't realise it's out of... Stop! He doesn't realise it's out of treats, which means that he's now just attacking it. So if you're not there to instantly get it out of their control, they're more likely to destroy it. This one, I've played with a couple of times, but I don't really rate it that much. This one I think better than the triple treat totter, but worse than the ball. Okay. So since we are discussing types first, let's go next to Kong. So we have four types of Kong toy, and they are all different. So we have the traditional Kong in the extreme, so the black version. Now, this one I like. We got medium or large. I think we've got large for Diego. It's the perfect size to fit a whole meal in. You can put peanut butter, you can put wet dog food. You can put bigger treats like hearts and liver and hearts. So it's an actual more versatile Kong because of the Kong opening, as you know, is a lot larger than some of these other ones, or easier to put stuff in, then it's easier to stuff stuff into it. The Kong, these versions I use more in summer because I like to freeze his food in it. So what I do is I wet his kibble with hot water, wait till it turns to a mush, then put it in and put it in the freezer. Or I grate carrot and beetroot and put it in with kibble and yogurt. I just put his kibble and then water, so it's like an ice block. I do a lot more frozen things in this one because it's harder for him to get them out. It lasts longer and it's good when it's really hot weather. This one I don't use frequently if I haven't prepared it the night before because the place to put the treats is so much bigger, things fall out easier. Then we have the Kong Genius, and has the openings at both ends and it's long. what I did, this one and my next one, when you buy them, are very, very solid. They are hard. It's hard to maneuver the openings. I understand that, but trust me, look now, they do get easier to open. The flaps do move eventually. But when you first get it, it's going to be quite solid. This one, Diego has had these. A lot of these toys we got from Animates in July last year. So Diego has had this for a while and there's no sign of anything ripping, any damage to it. Because of the shape, there's no real thin material on it, which is where he targets. So like what he's currently playing with, drop it, he's targeted the entry of that rope as the place that he pulls on. He finds the weakest part of a toy and will pull on that until it breaks. This one, even where it goes in, has more plastic on the inside. So it means that it's got no sort of weak spots, which I appreciate in a toy. This one I shove carrots through, I shove ribs and bully sticks and things that are long and hard. Sorry. I shove through it. I also put peanut butter over the entrances and then just fill it with his kibble. And I just put it inside the inner flaps as a reason for him to lick it out. I don't put peanut butter right in because obviously he can't get right in. And to put kibble in, you just squeeze the sides and that opens up and it slips in. This one I like. Another one we've been using recently and that I cleaned yesterday but is already covered in fur is the Kong Genius Leo. Now this one is the same kind of concept as this one. They are very, very, very hard when you first get them. Bear that in mind. However, Diego, as I said in the last one, finds the weakest link. That's why this is ripped off. Weakest link. Don't worry about that. That's been ripped for ages and it still hasn't come off. And I still use the top to put food and treats in and he still chews on that part and it still isn't ripped. So once it does go, it's not a big deal. It won't look as nice, but it's not that big a deal. It doesn't affect the overall Kong. Now, as you can see, you can squeeze this one as well. When you first get it, it's hard. The middle part is very hard to open. I'm going to be honest with you, that one's nearly impossible to get anything in and out of. And that one hasn't really loosened up like the bottom. This one I also fill with kibble. I put peanut butter in the inner flaps as well. I shove bully sticks and ribs and things down this long section. This one, I actually found out, I thought he chewed it to get them out. He rolls this around and that's why it's really, really dirty. It's because he rolls it around and around, waiting for them to fall out. They fall out one bit of kibble at a time. He'll throw it off the bed, he'll pick it up and then drop it until all the pieces of kibble are out. And so it takes him forever. So that when he's smashing it, he's hoping it falls out, but they don't really fall out that easily. So this one's a perfect one. I put some peanut butter in when I feel like it and that gives them a bit more and it's harder for the kibble to fall out. If there's just a smear of peanut butter on the entrance, it doesn't just fall out. So I like that one. This one we've been using religiously, at least once a day for like the last month. And finally from Kong we've got the Kong Wobbler. You would have seen us raving about this if you've kept up with our blog at all. Now with this one you screw off the top. It is a bit dirty because I got it in from outside. But you fill up to the top, screw, put it in, and then it wobbles. Now it's like a baby toy where it keeps, like it always will go back to the middle. It's weighted in the base. This one is so much fun. Diego loves it. I highly recommend it. It's the same hard plastic as this, probably a bit thicker, but it's not as $2 shoppy. It's more hard plastic. So definitely recommend this one. They just have to hit it over. Diego has mastered it. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it. You give it to Chico and it lasts like half an hour because he has no idea why the food isn't coming out of it. So it depends how long you have it and how good your dog is picking up on things as to how long it lasts. But Diego probably 10 minutes, Chico half an hour a day. He might not even finish it. It's so hard for him. Also, The variable is how big your kibble is to fit through this hole. Diego's kibble easily. Chico's kibble is a lot thicker so it doesn't fall out as quick. Next up we've got what you saw Diego playing with before, which is the Planet Dog Snoop. So what you do, it comes like this, you put the treats in and then you slop it back in, and as it rolls around, the kibble goes up into the sides instead of coming out. So it's good for dogs that push. If you've got a dog with a smaller nose or likes to find ways around things, this might not last forever. Let me explain. This is super tough. It's a Planet Dog toy. Stay. It's a Planet Dog toy, so it means it's super tough and durable, and if it does break, you do have the 100% guarantee that they offer. However, I've stopped using this super regularly with Diego because he's learnt that if you just smush your face in, you can get all the treats out in one go without rolling it at all, which defeats the whole purpose. He's been wanting that, so you can have it, mate. It's a super good toy. I love it. Diego loves it. He plays with it so much. However, the fact that he can just shove his nose into it has let down. Although, to be fair, I used that one straight for like 4 or 5 months. And he still loves it. So, depends which way you look at it. To go with the Planet Dog one, I got the Snoop. The Nook, which is a ball with a shape in it. These go inside the Planet Dog. Let me get it. So you put the ball inside here to make it harder for them to get the treats out. The problem? Wait, I'll let Diego explain. Here's the problem. The ball doesn't stay in very long. It's already gone. Diego, bring it here. See, the ball's already out. So the ball actually doesn't stick in as well as you'd like. And I don't know. I had high hopes for the Nook, and it just doesn't live up to my expectations. However, as a ball, it's tough, it's durable. Diego likes to play with this alone. I just don't use it as an enrichment toy. What I do shove into that toy though is my Alien Flex ball that I got from Animates, but you can also get from Wolves of Wellington. This one is actually meant to be an enrichment toy. Do I ever use it as one? No. You can cut these things if you want to make it easier. You can keep them in for harder. Sometimes I shove a treat in there, but usually I just use this one as a ball. And it smells like bubblegum. All the Alien Flex stuff smells like bubblegum, and I appreciate it. So what I've been doing with this one is shoving it into the Snoop really hard, and it's even hard for me to get out, and then I give it the Snoop with food in it to Diego, and then he struggles to get it out, and it lasts a lot longer. This next one's a weird one. It's a fortune cookie, and it's in the shape of a fortune cookie, and you just squeeze the sides and put treats in. It doesn't last long. It's kind of just a cute little novelty thing, but I thought I'd show you this. He sometimes uses it, sometimes doesn't. I do have a couple of other things at my mum's house that I've gifted to her for Chico and Ollie. And there's been a lot of things that Diego has destroyed. So these are just the things we currently have. And finally, these are from Distrapet, and they are the connectables, canine connectables. So what can happen is you can just connect these all together into different shapes, however you like. The idea, cool. The execution, not so good. You buy the stick, and then you buy a 2-pack of the extras separately. The stick itself, boring. There's not much to do. I have smeared treats and goodies in the inside of this. Obviously, as it's not that thick, it doesn't last long. Then the toys that you attach. So you just attach them like that, and you can fill these extra toys up. The blue one no longer has the piece to connect it in. So the blue one also had this sort of knoblet at the end that connected it in. Diego ripped that off. when trying to get it out. This orange one also, if you can see, is ripped. So the idea is good, but as I said before with the Kong toy, when Diego finds a weakness, he markets it. When Diego finds a weakness, he goes for it. So they're really hard to put in, which is a bonus. They are hard to remove from the stick. The problem with that is Diego will be tugging and tugging on this, and instead of it just popping out like that, it rips along there. It's a shame because I loved this idea and I think these are quite quirky and cool, and Diego loved them. He played with them for a few days in a row before he broke them, and I thought the idea was cool that you could sort of stack them up and get more and make it even a longer chain, but really it's just not durable enough for Diego. However, because there's sort of the 3 rungs, you can put each toy more in or out to make it harder. I shoved these right in. In future, I would just put the first part in, because then if he tugs on it, it pops off. Whereas if it's further in, he will rip at this part, if that makes sense. I think that is all our current enrichment toys that we own and that are in one piece. Every morning when I leave for work, Diego gets a treat, generally in the form of one of these toys. It's now become a thing where he hears my perfume, he comes running, knowing I'm leaving so that he can get a treat. So it's sort of broken the stigma that when I leave it's a bad thing, because he actually gets a reward every time I go out. And he waits for it in the morning. He is so excited for me to leave for the day so that he gets his treat. Yay. I also would like you guys to know I'm not very tall, so when you see me holding or beside Diego, he is as small as he looks. Our staple treats and stuff for the toys, we always use his kibble. He was getting fat and porky at one point, and so I stopped putting as much treats in and used kibble instead, which is his general food. So it's usually a third of a cup of his food that he gets in the morning. It's nothing extra apart from a little bit of peanut butter. Some days I do put in wet dog food. I put in treats that are natural from, I've got a heap from Zeal, Daisy's Doggy Deli and Canine Naturals that I rotate through. Generally he gets those ones once or twice a week, those kind of Kongs, and those ones are given to him when I don't train him at night. So if I know I'm going to be too busy to train him, that's when he'll get the more exclusive and nice food in his Kong. Otherwise it ranges from kibble, peanut butter, grated carrot, grated beetroot, yogurt, just homemade treats or bought treats. Sometimes I get canned fish for him, canned mackerel. His Kongs are actually not that exciting. Most day to day it's just kibble, and maybe every second day it's got a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of peanut butter. Otherwise he just loves the idea of playing with the toy when I leave, so I work with that. I've decided these are pre-owned. I'm going to start with that because I don't want to be attacked. As you saw in the video, I'm not the biggest fan of the Outward Hound toys, especially these two. So what I've decided, I know someone out there is actually going to use them and appreciate them more than I do. I literally have them under my bed 24/7. They only came out today for this video. So I want to give these away. Now I'm not sure currently if I want to give them away together or to two separate people to enjoy. So what we'll do, if you think your dog will like this and you will use it, please comment below. If you have a dog that's destructive, crazy, Diego-like, I wouldn't suggest applying. I want these to be actually used and cherished and appreciated, whereas currently they're not. I don't want them to end up under the bed at someone else's house. So if you would like the lucky dog slots or the triple treat totter, leave me a comment down below saying why your dog would like them and why you think your dog should get them. And I will decide whether you get both or if you get one of each. If you have a preference or one of them is the only one you'd like, also put that in your comment. And this will be drawn. Let's go next Sunday. Let's make it nice and quick. Next Sunday I will draw the winner and I'll put it in my video of that week who gets these. All you have to do, leave the comment why your dog deserves them down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and it would be nice if you visited my Instagram or Facebook page, but it's not part of the competition. If you have any other questions, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Good day, sir.
To be young and in love in New York City. Do not know who I am, but still know that I'm good on